is the essence of the Ribhu Gita. This is from chapter 26, verse 3. The sage says, having realized that the world picture on the screen self is evanescent and essentially non-existent, having realized that the world picture on the screen self is evanescent and essentially non-existent, one should ever remain still and blissful in the firm conviction of ever being the sole Brahman-Self only. One should ever remain still and blissful in the firm conviction of ever being the sole Brahman-Self only. This conviction should be maintained even while functioning as an individual in the world of name and form. This matured state of abidance in the self is called sahaja nishta, the natural state. Then the next verse is, in that blissful self, wherein there is no action of body, speech and mind, no virtuous or sinful karma, and the fruits thereof, one should remain still, eschewing the least trace of thought. Eschewing, not heard that word in a while. In that self, wherein there is neither conceiver nor conception of the world of names and forms, one should remain blissfully still, eschewing the least trace of thought. In that self wherein desire, anger, covetousness, confusion, bigotry, and envy are all absent. In that self, when there is no thought of bondage or release, one should abide blissfully still, eschewing the least ripple of thought. So I'm going to conveniently translate eschewing to mean not believing. The mind always says that it can't be so simple. There must have been somewhere that I need to get. I've been at this for so long. All my journey, all my trials and tribulations. Are you saying I've always been this? Always been that which I've been looking for? Something must need to be changed at least. The anger should go. It will say this kind of thing. Your relationship should get better. What is the benefit of this whole thing? And he's saying even bliss, he will not promise. Could it really have been one big trick? Just a switch of perception. Just a switch of perspective actually. And we took on a personal perspective. And just this perspective needs to switch back to what is the real perspective. And the good news is that it's been very hard work to pretend to be a person. And it's completely effortless to be the self. That's why the sage calls it the effortless state, the natural state. We're working so hard to pretend to be bound. And how do we know we are working hard? Because we are suffering. And it's not as if suffering was designed by somebody else. This is also part of your own play. Maybe we can say that we created it as an alarm clock for ourselves. It is that simple. Nothing needs to happen. It's only that the term I, the idea of I, got a little muddied up, a little muddled up. We got used to using it for a imagined non-existent entity. Non-entity. We got used to using it in that way. And now we are truly just clarifying who is this I. That's all that is needed. That's why Bhagavan also said that after silence, it is the self-inquiry which is the best path, the best way. All we are doing is clarifying what do we mean by I. And the mind wants to keep it confusing like that. you ask most beings who are not in satsang, you will find you will sometimes be shocked at their indifference to this question. Because immediately the mind resists. It says, what's the point? This is too abstract. What will I get? This complete refusal to look at this. Which is completely fine because they are not done playing. There is no need to force those, forcibly make them look at what they mean by I. It is enough that we look. And what happens first when we look? We're easily distracted by appearances, the content. Oh, I think I am this. Quickly, I think I am this. No, but you are the witness of this thought. Who is the witness? I'm scared, I feel some fear. No, you are witnessing that fear is arising. Who is the witness? But my family and my friends don't understand me and they leave. You're witnessing this. Just another appearance. Who is the witness? So all this play of appearances comes with full force to distract you from this question. Sometimes when you ask, you might find yourself just too sleepy. I have a friend, a colleague who's worked with me for a few years now, and sometimes we talk about satsang. And just when we are coming to the core, he becomes so sleepy, his head is falling. Like that. So all this lila and this play, all of this can happen. So the world of appearances seems to become even more distracting than earlier. And the voice of this mind, the voice of the interpreter, seems to become even more aggressive and loud, trying to pull your attention away from the question into another appearance. That's why the teacher asks, what is here besides the appearance? Who is witnessing these appearances? Is it not you? That sees everything coming and going and yet remains unchanged? This body, every cell has changed many times over. It is changing every day, yet I remain as the witness of it. These thoughts, every minute, new thought, and I remain as the witness of it. Emotions, feelings, energy, changing, changing, changing. Yet I remain as the witness of it. Even the states of waking, dream, and sleep, I am aware of. I witness them, and they change. That which I do not witness does not exist. Who is this witness? If we keep the appearances aside just for a few moments and find out who is witnessing all of this, then we find that this, even to call it a witness actually, is a bit much, because witness implies there is an entity who is a witness. An entity means it has some attributes. But when we look, do we find any attributes to this witness? And this is the point of frustration for many of you. You say, I look for the witness and I don't find it. What you actually mean is that I don't find the phenomenal attributes of the witness. You can't find it because it is not phenomenal. Therefore, more accurate actually to say that there is no witness. It is just the witnessing itself. The great sages of the past were called the seers. Actually, there is no seer. It is the seeing itself. Are you okay with not being a noun, not being an entity? A more accurate description of I, of you, would be more like a verb. You are just this seeing. You are not an entity who is aware, an entity who is witnessing. You are the awareness itself, the witnessing itself. And this the mind cannot accept, understand, or fathom. So don't struggle trying to convince the mind. Don't even force it as a belief on the mind. You do not need to believe it. You only need to see it. And you are seeing it right now. This is all that you are seeing. Only some of you are waiting for mental confirmation. You are not trusting your own seeing. You are waiting for the mind to confirm, yes, this is what I see. Because all of you, when I ask you the question, are you aware now? You say yes. And I say, so what was seen to confirm this? You say this awareness is here But I find no attributes of this, and yet I know it is here. This is what we are talking about. This knowingness, this seeingness, this awareness. And you don't need to be that. Because quickly mind comes with this task. It says, now that you see it, you must be it. So instead I say, don't be it and show me. Stop being it for just an instant. The instruction to be it is also personal actually. And no person can be it. And awareness can only be awareness. At best, when we say stay as the self or stay as awareness itself, it only means to not believe any appearance to be you. To don't fall for this delusion again. This is all that it means when it is said stay as the self.